Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly game master today, because today we are playing a special, another one-shot set in the same setting as our ongoing Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign. Only for this war story, we will be playing different heroes than we normally play, and instead of either AD&D 2nd Edition or Castles and Crusades like we've been using for the main campaign, we will be once again returning to one of our favorites here, Pathfinder 2nd Edition from Paizo Publishing. And with me today to enjoy this war story, or at least to suffer through it, are the stars of today's war story. The war story is called The Fisherman and the Cave. And I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who are you playing today? First up is our resident armorsmith, Dave.
Hey everybody, today I'm Dave, and I get to play a surly, crusty, oh wait, maybe not quite that bad, but I'm playing Gunnar. He's a ragged human barbarian of level 2.
Mm-hmm. And returning to the same character he played in our last war story is Darren.
Yep, down here I'm playing Lavari, who's a level 2 sorcerer.
Nice. So Lavari has a connection with like one of the unfortunate legacies of the original Crystal Tower and the original Crystal Shard is the influence of necrotic powers. So you would know, Gunnar, that Lavari has just some very unusual qualities to him. He definitely, he looks, as you can see, he looks kind of like death warmed over. But how would you describe his personality, Darren?
Yeah, he is a bit cold. He is a bit, I don't know, he definitely has got that look, like you say. He's been using this necromantic sort of magic for quite some time, and it is playing it's sort of draining him. So he has got that sort of weathered sort of look about him. Mm-hmm. He's quite a solemn character, quite serious most of the time, and although I think he's the youngest of the siblings, he definitely comes across as the oldest.
Most definitely.
The way he acts, and especially the way he looks. Mm-hmm. Just because he's a bit weathered and.
So our last war story concerned a missing brother. This one will be a little different. First off, Dave, to give context, you guys are from the town of Caer Konig. Caer Konig there's the map of it. It's one of the many small communities, the 10 towns that are in the Icewind Dale. I guess before we get into that, let me just quickly say, for those who may be joining us either for the first time or as a reminder for those who are joining us again, this adventure is going to include content from the Legacy, the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden product. So if you are intending on playing that adventure, this session will have spoilers from that. So just proceed accordingly. Here's the the background stuff on Caer Konig. I probably won't. I'm not going to go through all of that just because it's not there at the start of this adventure anyway. But what it's important to know is that it's a small farming community, it's a small fishing community, and it has like its sister village, Caer Dinival, were founded by ragged tribesmen after the original war with the Crystal Shard. So about 100 years ago. Is that right? Is it a little bit? Was it older than that? I think it was resettled after it was wiped out by their by the army. Like Caer Dinival and the larger East Haven at the far end of Lake Dinival, Lake Dinashir, Lac Dinashir, forgive me. This is a fishing community, and it has a little bit of a contest with it. I don't have Caer Konig on here on this map, guys, but Caer Konig is located about here. Now, one of the things you would know, Gunnar, just as context, this does, I mentioned before we went live, take place during the same time as our ongoing Legacy of the Crystal Shard campaign. So this is a couple of months into like the worst winter in memory. It has been incredibly cold. There's been some trouble with pirates as well, which makes life even more challenging. And then the brothers came back with this strange tale of as yet unknown dwarven fortress that seemed to have kidnapped the middle child, or the youngest. I think you're the middle child, actually, Darren, because it was your younger brother, who, out on his dog sled who went missing. That's been the scuttlebutt for the last couple of weeks. Is just this concern over some other dwarves out there. There's been trouble, or at least you'd heard through rumors of trouble in the Dwarven Valley, and then there seems one of the things that the sister that Marietta recovered was a piece of it looked like almost black crystal or black ice. But it had the toughness and hardness of steel. And you've since heard that this stuff has been trading out of the Dwarven Valley and across the across the 10 towns, in spite of the cold weather. I'm trying to find what the description was. Here we go. What she found. It was Doom. It says just Doom. That's weird. Just kidding.
Sounds appropriate.
Yep. Yeah, 3 dagger-sized pieces of black ice. That's what she found in there. And Lavari's just been having a very strange feeling about this. Gunnar, you are one of the finest, not only fishermen, but also scrimshanders in the region. You've got a real knack for the stuff. The knucklehead trout that you catch in Lac-Dinachir and in the red waters, they have they're prized, and then really the treasure, or at least the real economic draw of the Icewind Dale is the ivory that comes from their the heads. More often than not, you want to trade it in and you'll send it south, and then artisans will make use of it. But you've got a real knack for the stuff, so I think that you still have a sweet little collection of your own kind of scrimshandered things. What you do have as well, though, is a vicious temper. Whether that's said to be the blessing of Tempus, the god that your forefathers and perhaps you guys pray to, or if it's just part of your Ragged heritage, the heritage of the more nomadic and primitive tribes that live out on the Icewind Dale. Who's to say? All they know is try not to piss off Gunnar, because he can be just a holy devil when pressed. You have, however, been you are friends of Lavari's family, and I think why do you think that you were the one who agreed to transport him to East Haven? Did you have business there anyway? You've got your own boat, so it's not like you need to borrow something or rent something to get there. But our story is going to pick up with you guys arriving at East Haven. For Lavari to be looking into some things, but
Gunnar's got a sizable sack full of trout heads that he wants to unload. He's got a few at home that he's work on himself, but it's like needs the money to pay for a little extra firewood and whatnot.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have time to go searching for firewood because he needs to be plying his trade. So
yep, okay. And I think still then. So really, if you guys leave early in the morning, you guys will be able to reach East Haven, or should be able to reach East Haven by the, before noon. What you find as well, too, is as a reminder of the persisting influence of Auril and the encroachment of winter, the sky is still brilliant green of dancing lights as you are making your way and sailing across Lac-Dinachir. The waters are black, and both of you know that it's just frigid too. You both have the legacy of people born to the steppes out here in the tundra, so you're able to weather it better than most. But I think most people with good sense, with the blowing wind and the snow carried over across the lake, this would not be pleasant. It's only because really of Gunnar, your exceptional sailing skills that there's no concern about you guys capsizing or whatever else. There is I think in the back of your mind, Lavari, as you're going to be getting closer to East Haven, the story of the White Lady, a ghost that's said to haunt the Lactinashire. But, I'm not sure that you're easily startled or, overly dwelling on superstition. So, our story opens with you guys arriving at Eastdale fairly early in the day. And let me show you, guys, this is Eastdale. Ooh, that map is huge. Or East Haven, not Eastdale. And I think, let's see here. Is that on there? No.
Well, it looks like we're here.
Okay. I'm just going to put some stuff onto the map layer here. They've got a lot of stuff saved to the DM's layer. There we go. Map layer. And then I need to go to the map layer and send this thing to the back. Boom. There you go. You guys see all those labels now?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that is different, I think, from previous times you have come to East Haven, Gunnar, you may have been here this winter already, but I think even since the last time you were here, let me show you. This is what the East Haven ferry looks like right now. Like it's not solid ice leading all the way up, but it's such packed ice. It's very difficult to navigate, and you're going to have to be very careful when you make your way up towards East Haven. East Haven itself is a town of about 800 people, but it's a much more built, as you can tell, much more built up, much bigger area than what or community than what Caer Konig is. What you know as well, which is not marked on the map, is that the let's see here, where is Rudens?
Gary's looking a little frostier than normal there, Zavari.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold times.
Rudens Armory is located right here. Am I on the right map? Yeah, okay. Right around here. So that's where that dwarf that you know is. And then the Church of Tempest is, I believe, right here. So if you want to speak to Everard, that's where you would be heading. You find that the docks are not particularly busy as you're coming in. There are some people on here, but in comparison to past days with East Haven, it really, one thing I should mention as well, I don't have this is the sigil for East Haven if you're interested. East Haven has a distinctive reputation because it was it's quite publicly known, it was founded by thieves. So the one legacy of that is that in East Haven, there are signs in many places saying keep an eye on your coin purse, but they don't enforce any laws against pickpocketing. So you just need to be mindful. The expectation of the community is if you've got something valuable, you're going to take care of it. If you don't, well, you should have taken better care. So you would know this coming in, Gunnar. And LeVar, I think you've been here at better times, but it's one of the things that makes East Haven stand out. East Haven is also, it's even bigger, I think, than what you saw last time. One of the most recent, big developments was a paved road going from East Haven up to Bryn Shander, the biggest community in the 10 towns and the seat of the High Speaker. That has brought even more, business down into East Haven. Their fleet, it dwarfs the fishing fleets of Caer Konig and Caer Dinaval now. So really, if there was ever any competition between the communities, East Haven has taken a big leap ahead. However, how frozen over many of the boats and stuff are as you come in, it suggests that East Haven has not escaped the difficulties of this particular rough winter, the winter of the Frost Maiden. as you're coming in, Gunnar, you know that like last time you were here, there were more boats here. Even for the winter time, it's strange that there's so few boats that are out in the harbor, fishing boats.
Well, they're not all as good a fishermen as I am, so I imagine most of them are at their homes right now in front of a nice toasty fire.
But if they were, the boats would be here.
Oh,
yeah, right. Like it's almost as if like they're out and I mean, you may be past one or two boats as you were coming in, but there should be a lot more if it's winter and they're not all out trying to fish in this weather. It's curious. So you guys pick a wharf and start making your way in towards it. Would you give us a crafting check, Dave, please?
Be awfully embarrassing to be, renowned fisherman and not be able to get my boat in, but
whoa! Let me get your token here, because you may want to have access to that hero point if you want. There's not really a consequence of it. This is just really you're not going to take damage to your boat or anything like that. It's really just your pride that'll take a hit from this.
No, I'm pretty sure Lavari doesn't understand what I'm doing, so it's not going to matter.
Okay. So you come in, and it's a rougher, like there's a lot more floating ice in here, and some that seems to be, you think they were separate pieces that would just be pushed apart, but they seem to be frozen together. So it's a rough docking, and it takes long enough that there is someone else who comes over. And the first is there's a young fellow who's coming over, and you don't recognize him. It's not the harbor master or anything like that. But he says, "Ho there. Well met, strangers. Where are you coming in from? Were you out looking with the others?"
You seem to have a strange word for fishing, but...
Oh, do you not... Forgive me, I don't... Are you not... Have you just come to East...
From Kerkonig, yeah. And just coming in with some pats of the sack of knucklehead trout heads under his arm.
Then you haven't heard then of the missing fisherman.
Looks over to Lavari like...
News hasn't traveled to us of such.
If I'll come out of the weather. We can get you into the harbor master's office. You should speak to Captain Arlagath. And Gunnar, you've been here before. Arlagath is the captain of the East Haven militia. Her name is Imdra Arlagath, a half-elf, a former adventurer who retired up here, like so many people do.
Militia? Why would I? Well, we're just here to speak to some folks and sell some stuff. Not really sure.
If I'm sure she would want to speak to you. If you could just come, get out of the. And he goes down and grabs the ropes to help tie up your boat, and he'll bring you down to the harbor master's office, so you're kind of warm in there. There are bandits sometimes. People get ideas when they come up here, and sometimes there's the odd band of like orcs or other. There are gnolls that are known to live out on the tundra, but for the most part, like the militia doesn't really do much apart from relatively minor enforcement of, non-pickpocketing related crimes. It doesn't really have to enforce, the safety of people or whatnot. The one thing that concerns you is if they're talking about missing fishermen, that's sort of, that's one of those things that's sort of an all hands on deck type situation. When a community has fishermen lost out there, then there sort of is a... especially in these more difficult times, it's sort of a all hands on deck. You all go out and try and find, where these people are.
Yeah.
Weather permitting, of course. You do know that weather was bad about 2 days ago. You wouldn't have want to make the village or the journey. You wait maybe about 15 minutes until this fairly, attractive in the way that, like, to human eyes, a lot of half-elves just have that, that grace of their ancestors, so they lend them beauty. But the half-elven woman who comes in has the look of someone who's lived up here for a while as well. Weathered skin, and her flushed, she's got brown hair, the slight point to her ears as she comes in. I think, Gunnar, you probably, I don't know if you've known her before. What do you think Gunnar's, where does he get his martial proficiency from? Did he, was he a scrapper at some point who retired into fishing, or is it something he always came by naturally, or?
Well, in Caer Konig, I'm going to imagine they don't have like a large standing militia.
Definitely not. No.
So if there's a roving band of gnolls or something like that, that they would have to band together, grab everybody, every man grabs a sword kind of thing.
Yep.
And he just kind of fell in and said, "Hey, this is great. I can blow off some steam, smashing things," and realized that he was actually pretty decent with a sword.
Okay. And culturally too, the Ragged still, even though you're living a city-bound life, there still is Tempest is an important part of their faith, who's a war god, and training with weaponry is not it's not frowned upon. So the captain comes in and she looks you over. Let me make a roll, see if she knows who you are. 14. And she says, "Good morning, and you're in from Caer Konig, I'm told. Are you, by any chance, Gunnar Lindahl?"
Yeah.
Well, Gunnar, I'll make this short. 4 of our fishermen have not returned. They were to be back. The 4 of them have been out, and I'm sure that I have not heard how things are at Caer Konig. We've had trouble enough this winter troubles enough of our own to keep us focused here, to not consider what things have been like. But I'm sure you've heard of and perhaps dealt with the pirate issue. A band of locals have taken up to piracy. And the threat of that, the threat of the weather, and the need to sail further out into the lack has pushed many of our fishermen into unfamiliar waters, areas that they don't normally go to, and we have this winter seen some mishaps, but no deaths and no crews missing altogether. The 4 who are missing are all quite young and quite inexperienced, and we believe they went far along the southern shore.
All in the same skiff?
All in the same boat. And
kids.
We have our people out looking. I know that to have made the journey down here, you likely have more pressing matters as well, but any experienced fisherman, anyone who knows these waters, and I know being furthest north in the Lac, that you of Caer Konig, you are familiar with many of the waters that we simply are not. As a fellow fisherman, could we impose on you to assist us with this?
Yeah. He looks over at Lavari. He's like, I certainly could help. Lavari, you've got other business, or?
Nothing that can't wait.
She looks incredibly relieved, and she says, "We will." She gestures to this kid. He's huddled together, kind of like a care package for you. There's some warmed up brandy. There is some food, like some in a little clay vessel. So this will be. It's a small way of saying thank you. We will try to endeavor to thank in a more significant way. She walks over to a map that's out on the harbor master's table and sort of gestures. You can see there's little markings that are down on there already, a little like wooden cubes. And she gestures to part of the map and says, let me go to the big thing here. Some of this we have others, locals looking into. Let me bring you over here. Boom. But here, closer to the rivers, these are areas. We are looking up and down the coast. We don't think, or the shores. We don't think that they will have traveled further north, but if you could, the northern side of this river,
and just for perspective, the scale, how long would it have been from Caer Koenig to here?
So it's about 4 miles, and with the boat, I think the ship travels something, or not ship, but a boat. Let's see here. Oh, those are only overland. I imagine this has been like maybe like a little more than an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wouldn't have taken us that long to get from where we came from, so it'd still be fairly early in the day.
Definitely.
And traveling in roughly equidistant, maybe a little shorter, we could probably get in and check and get out before it gets dark.
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys are okay with that, then she will thank you, give you your supplies, and assist you with getting your boat. She will any goods that you've got too. She will keep in the harbor master's quarters for you. If you want, if you're, especially if you don't want to bring the knucklehead trout out there. So
I think Gunnar does an extra heft to the bag, just judging the weight. Then he looks at her and he's like,
okay.
Hands it over.
All right. So then we see, I guess what we would see is you guys once again sailing away from East Haven back out onto the blackened lac. Let's see what.
Lavari, there's one good thing about this. It delays what I hate doing, even though I have to do when I come in.
Haggling?
What's that?
Yeah. that whole piece with the merchant where you got to sit there and talk and sound nice and ask him about his family and go back and forth on reasons why he should pay you more and he's not going to. I always end up paying more than the next guy anyways, or getting less, but damn it, it's a big waste of time.
So what you guys find is it is, you may not have been to the specific part of the lac in a while, but you find that, and actually let me change up our music here. This is too happy. We need creepy. Here we go. Is that it? This one? No. All right. We'll use this for now. So what you find is making your way along. Oh, yes. First off, Dave, would you give us a D20 roll, please?
I had just opened up the game in YouTube to like the chat, like the show, and I'm like, clicking on the. Oh, I'm just pausing pausing the YouTube stream. It's not working. All right, I'll try the roll 20 d20. There we go.
Okay, so it's windy. Like there's definitely, you can feel there's some bad weather coming in on this. So it's going to make it, the wind is blowing, the snow is out. So it will make the visibility of this even worse. You
didn't tell me I was rolling a weather check. I would have rolled low.
What you find is after several freezing hours, you guys have finished off the last of the warm, now quite cold brandy. The food is gone, and you've been out here for about, it took you another hour to get up here. You've been about 5 hours searching the coastline, and it's very difficult getting in, for this area. What you see is, why don't you each give us a perception check? Let's get some dice rolling here, beyond your navigating the ship. 15, nice. Yeah, but Gunnar, you're an expert in this. 19. Gunnar, you're the one who spots it. Through the blowing snow, up ahead, a rowboat bobs untethered in the water amid some small ice floes, not far from 80-foot-high cliffs that abut the shoreline. One of these caves is at water level, and the others are elevated 20 to 30 feet above the frozen lake. The wind tearing through these icy caves sounds like moaning.
Hey, look. See those caves? What do you make of those?
You can see the back of the rowboat as well. There is a not crudely, it would have been, a lot of care would have been taken to put this on there. It reads Bunch of Knuckleheads. That is the name of the ship, or the rowboat, that was taken by these 4 sailors. There is no sign of them in there, though. It is about 120 feet away from you guys. What would you guys like to do?
That's definitely their boat.
We should probably move closer.
Yeah, is there only sort of one place to land with a boat?
Well, that's kind of bobbing out amongst a bunch of ice as well, so you can easily, sail your boat right up next to it.
Maybe we should
tether them together.
Yeah, let's check the boat first.
Okay. So sailing up next to it, or perhaps rowing just to have more control, what you find is there are 4 oars, there are 4 sets of fishing tackle, and about a dozen empty bottles lying in it. This is fairly close to where the ice has frozen as well, too. Once you get closer to it, you can tell. And Gunnar, because you've got that cool tracking feat, you can spy quite easily that there are tracks in the ice leading from the boat to that southernmost cave right near by the water level. You would guess.
There's tracks.
And it appears like there are 4 sets of tracks as well.
Looks like they're heading off for that cave. Want to follow them?
Well, it looks like they've come on their own will and they're investigating. Well,
yeah, what would make them leave the boat and all the bottles? Hey, the bottle's full.
Is the bottle
all empty?
Is the boat is tied up though? Is it? It's secured,
it's actually not. It's pulled up slightly onto the ice, so it's not drifting away. But it hasn't been there's not like a piton or a stake or something that's been put down to secure the thing.
So that's pretty unusual, isn't it? That's not the way.
At the very least, it's careless.
Well, with all the bottles they drank, wouldn't be surprised if they forgot to moor the boat.
But fishermen normally can handle their liquor.
It could be over imbibing. It could be the inexperience, because they did mention these were 4 younger guys, or it could be something else. in any event, you know, Gunner is, both of you would know, you both grew up on Lac de Sheer. This is sloppy. What happens if a wind gust comes in or a swell comes in and carries your boat away? You can't swim out in this water for very long. It's fucking frigid, even in the height of summer.
I'm suspicious. Let's secure the boats and investigate.
Okay.
Yep.
And I want you guys to hold on to your butts here, but... oh, what is going on here? Hold on. Ah, okay. I have 2 copies of the exact same map, one of which I've sort of converted to PF2, one of which is still in D&D 5. I was like, what is going on? Did it just undo all my change? Oh, no, it's the... Got it. So, let me... like last time, so we went through this last time. Unfortunately, Roll20... for these ones, they've used a very small map, or a very small version. So I'm going to put your... normally I have your bars overlapping. I'm going to put them below or above as need be, just because otherwise we're not going to see your illustrations. But let me see here. Oh, and guys, you each get a hero point.
Lost my token now.
Oh, here, let me bring you over to this map and you can more easily do that. Here we go, guys. So, you guys are over here. I've put light on the outside here because it's still light outside. You can see that there are 20 feet up, there is one set of caves here. And then 30 feet up is another, 30 feet up is another. The tracks lead down into this cave here, where there is a frozen stream that seems to be leading out. You guys can assume as well, I didn't put it, I didn't add all of your gear, but you've got like the general starting gear for, you know, for adventurers. You've got torches in there, you've got rope in there if you need be. You probably each have a restorative as well, too, a healing potion. I didn't put that on your character sheet. Although, I did give you a compendium access, so you can feel free to drag and drop that onto your character sheet. I remember
Except that my character sheet's on another screen, so now I gotta close it. Oh.
So, the tracks you can see lead into this cave, and there still is that, like, moaning coming out of it.
Greater staff of healing?
No. Good effort, though. Although I think that you are, yeah, you're a barbarian. I'm not sure you can use it anyway. So it's just a real expensive chunk of wood for you.
Would be a lesser healing potion?
It'd be a lesser healing potion, yeah. So, what are you guys thinking?
So the water actually goes into that system, does it? Or
it does,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
The southernmost cave, the water is frozen solid, creating a floor of ice, and you can quite easily see that there are 4 sets of tracks that lead into the actual cave itself.
I'm having a hell of a time with my character sheet.
What's happened?
As soon as I click on the compendium, my character sheet disappears. It's not staying on the screen.
Do you have it popped out?
Just opened it.
Oh, you just opened it. Okay, let's see here.
I think they pop out by default now. They seem to.
Let's see here. Healing.
Even when you just open it, it seems to pop.
So it's a lesser
now.
healing potion?
So I was trying to drag on there.
Yeah, here we go.
But like you say, I don't think you can drag it when it's popped out.
Yeah, not when it's popped out. There you go. So it should be in there for you now, Dave.
Okay.
But I don't know how you unpop it anymore. It seems to just default.
Does it?
Pop
Yeah,
out.
it doesn't for me. I don't know why it's doing that for you guys.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a player thing they've introduced. I don't know.
That's a terrible.
As soon as I click on the menu, on any of the menu bar items,
Yeah.
The character sheet recedes and goes off screen.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's like it's just permanently popped out. I think it might be in the settings. I have to have a look there.
That's terrible because I mean, with the compendiums, I don't think you can drag and drop when they're not. I mean, unless they've changed that. I'll go into a game later as a player because I can set it up to do that. I'll see what's going on. But anyway, you have your. Do each of you have your healing potions now, or hold on?
All right, there's a character pop-out window under the settings, Dave. Under personalization and display, mine's ticked. I don't know if yours is ticked for character pop-out.
There, Lavari, I've just put a lesser healing potion in your supplies as well.
Might be what's
So,
done it.
what would you guys like to do?
So we'd have to walk down that bit anyway because it's frozen.
Most definitely, yeah. You couldn't. You've been walking on solid ice for about 30 feet or 40 feet now, leading up to the shore.
So we've secured the boats. That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to climb up rather than take the most obvious route through the sort of iced up river? And the noise, I was going to say the moaning noise that's coming out of that sort of frozen river sort of area.
Yeah. Though that seems to be the maybe the wind going through.
Just the wind whistling through.
Because the cliff face goes up 80 feet here.
So I'm just thinking that sounds like there isn't caves above us then, because we're not getting that wind sort of sound coming out from. So this is probably the.
It is coming out of. Why don't you give us a perception check? Difficulty here is only going to be a 10. So if you can tell. Yeah. Okay. So Lavari, if you're looking up at these, this cave over here and this cave over here are also. They have that howling sound. This one does not.
All right. So there is potentially other entrances or exits. Okay. What do you think, Gunnar? Do you think we should take the most obvious frozen river route or one of the more secluded areas higher up?
Darren, I don't know if anybody else is noticing, but Darren's audio is pretty quiet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I haven't found it, but it equalizes on my end.
Oh, okay. Just like stay on that.
Oh, is it okay if you're? I'm not sure if you can adjust your gain, Darren. Go ahead and say something now.
Well, it should be okay, but
yeah, that's a little better.
Good. Okay. Darren's just not a loud motherfucker like me, so
maybe that's it.
He's what the kids call polite. So, what?
So you want to go up there, or just take this easy path?
it may be safer, the secluded entrance. Whatever has happened to the fishermen, maybe it's because they took this most obvious route.
But we could try and climb up there. It's only about 20 feet or so. We have light?
I've got a light spell which I can put onto my stuff.
My pack seems to be a little. I didn't bring torches and stuff. Wasn't really planning on.
David, like I said, you would have. Assume you've got all your, starting gear.
Standard gear.
Yeah, like adventuring pack, grappling hook, 2 sheaths, and the adventuring pack, I think, that's on page 287 of the core book. Backpack containing all the other goods, bedroll, 2 belt pouches, 10 pieces of chalk, flint and steel, 50 feet of rope, 2 weeks of rations, 5 soap, 5 torches, and a water skin.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe climbing up here and investigating. The wind is coming from that direction as well, so there must be an entrance or an exit there. So I'm
let's do it.
start to investigate there.
Okay. So the difficulty with getting up there is going to be you will have to store your staff.
Yep.
Right. But I think your character is giving off light already. So let's see here. Where is?
Yeah. Seems to be.
Climb. Yeah, I think this is left over from last time. So here we go. Skills. So climbing up there is going to be an athletics check. I think the difficulty is going to be for here, I think it'll just be a 15.
Okay.
Nice. Like a kid born to, climbing cliff sides, Lavari, you're easily able to scale up that in a fairly quick matter. Gunner. Lavari's scaled up the 30 feet up into the top, and you're looking in there. There is wind coming through here as well. Oh, I think you've set it to be whispering rolls, Dave.
Oh, is that next to the character? Whisper rolls to GM?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'll just unclick that.
Okay, so yeah, and you easily go ahead and put yourself up at the top. You make your way up there quite handily as well. What you can tell is there is some strange sounds coming through here with moaning and it's wrong side there. Were you going up in a different spot, Gunner, or are you going to?
No, I was planning on going to the same spot.
Okay.
Over here then.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. So the wind is coming seemingly from somewhere deeper in the cave towards you. And what do you guys wish to do next? Nothing of interest in here.
I think I'm going to draw my sword.
Okay.
It's a big motherfucker. But
Okay. Got your bastard sword out.
And seeing that Gunner's cautious, I should do something similar. I'm going to raise my shield. My cantrip
Spell?
shield. Yeah.
Okay. So you have your cantrip shield up. Light is coming from your staff. You guys can go ahead and start moving yourselves if you like. Each square is 5 feet, and I believe each of
look at the ground up here. I know that we assumed that the tracks were going on the main level, on the ice level. But I'll check up here for tracks.
Sure. Let me just. I think I may have misspoken. I don't know if. Yeah, Lavar's not giving off any light. Your light spell. Could you open up the light spell? Hit the little triangle, or maybe just click on it. I just want to see what. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so same as a torch then, all right? So 20 foot bright, 20 feet dim. There you go. So you're giving off some light now. So what you can see, give us a survival check, please, Gunner. Okay. You're spending a hero point on that, or?
It's not a very good roll, given PF2, right?
Yeah. You only rolled 8 on that. Nice, 15.
Yeah.
Okay. You also get another hero point. It's 9 o'clock now. So what you can see is that there are no footprints in here. None you can see. No sign of the fisherman going down. There's definitely the sound of wind going through deeper caverns. These caverns seem to go in for some distance, but... Oh, and it appears as if it branches.
Go left or right.
I think maybe continue east, as it may lead more towards the main opening.
Yeah, this way to the north probably one of those other cave exits. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you find as you guys are slowly making your way along here is the footing in here is quite slick. You certainly wouldn't want to be running in here for fear of taking a tumble. And, well, what is this? Gunnar, it looks like
Plus 20.
is an arch. Yeah, because this is an arch that's about 20 feet above a frozen surface of water beneath it.
Oh. Now that the light's closer, I can see the water.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Might have to be careful going on here. I think he's going to have to stow his sword and be careful balance-wise going across.
Would you give us a athletic? If you're taking your character, just give us athletics check at a DC 10. Easy peasy. Oof. Okay. So you make your way to the far side, and there is another cavern, it appears, in here.
Okay. I'll make a similar check as I go across.
Please, yeah, if you're going to make your way across, DC 10. Don't you hero point that?
I think I might give it a re-roll.
Oh, no! So, Lavari, you get to the side now. Would you give us a reflexes save, please, against... Hold on here. Because this will be your trying to grab the ledge reaction.
Which has never happened in a Crystal Shard game before.
Never. Let's see here. At least not on purpose. You remember when you did the water slide down that ice chute to get away from trolls?
Yeah. Or got knocked over the edge by dwarves that were fighting with black ice.
Oh, yeah, right. Those guys were fun. Okay. What you need to roll, I think it... What I'm just looking up is the DC. I know it's a reflex save. So you can go ahead and give us a reflex save, and I'll tell you what the DC is in just a moment. Once I find it. Oh, here we go. Arrest a fall. DC is 15. Oh, yeah. You want to spend a hero point?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Burning all your hero points.
Whump. All right. So that means you take 10 points of damage from that fall. As you hit the surface. So Gunnar, you turn around and the light you can picture is now like casting up and casting strange shadows because he has fallen and hit the ground. Oh! And he hits hard. One of the upsides is this ice does seem frozen enough that it doesn't break. So at least there's
That's also
that.
why you took damage, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be just a big groan of effort as he sort of hits the floor and...
So if you look
Well,
down...
back up here, I could toss some rope down.
It'll take a few seconds just to get himself back together. He's probably a bit winded from that. But,
Yeah.
he's just thinking he might just sort of have a look up here. Just shed a bit of light up. It just carries up.
You're not in combat right now, so if you wanted to make use of... Remember, you can use nature in lieu of medicine to do a first aid check.
Yep. Yeah.
It means you won't be able to use it on yourself for an hour again, but...
I know, it's worth doing.
Yeah, okay. Nice! So I believe it's, what, 2d8 you restore?
Oh... I think... Check. I don't tell you.
Let's see here. Sorry, I didn't mean to slam the book shut in the mic. Sorry for those listening at home. The book got away from me. I'm just checking for medicine right now.
I think it's 2d8, and then if it was on a 20 difficulty, it's plus 10, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's just 2d8.
Yeah, treat wounds 10 minutes. 2d8, and your wounded condition is removed. So you're not wounded yet. Yet being the operative word. Yeah. So you get some herbs and whatnot out. Go ahead and give us a 2d8 roll.
Okay.
7 back. Okay.
Nice.
All right. So, Gunnar, Lavari is making his way a little further down the cave, which will be leaving you in darkness.
Okay.
You could light a torch if you chose, but
I think he's getting out the rope and he's kind of like, just let me know when you want up.
okay.
Yeah, I'm only gonna travel to sort of there,
Okay.
and then I see it continues round the corner, and he probably thinks better judgment.
Okay.
When the light disappears, it's like he pulls a dagger out and he's just like back against the wall.
Yeah, he thinks that's probably not a good idea, so he comes back quite quickly and sort of says, "I'll climb back up and
Sure.
we'll continue the way we went."
Give us an athletics check, DC 10, please.
He's really starting to hate this athletics stuff.
Yeah, he's not. And it's not that you are falling with this. Like that's not a critical fail, but you're having a hell of a time trying to get up. I mean, you've been out on the water for a long time, and you are, quite inured to the cold. But even then, like your hands must be getting a little numb right now.
Yeah, I assume his hands are cold and his feet are slipping on this sort of icy sort of rocks and stuff.
Want me to come down there?
What you could do, Gunnar, is if you want to try and aid him, you could make there's no penalty for failure, but give us an athletics check against a DC 20. On a success, you give +1. On a crit, you give +2 to his next athletics roll. Look at that. So +1 to your athletics check, Lavari.
Okay.
There you go. A 20. So yeah, easily with some effort. And Gunnar's like, put your foot there, right there. Yes. Come on. Now, you are brought back up into this area.
Walk back.
Yeah. I suggest we don't go down there again.
Unless it's voluntary.
So
There is another way out if we need one, potentially.
There stuffs the rope back in his pack and puts his pack back on, and then. All right, let's go.
okay. What would you guys like to? Oh, so you can see that this does seem to go into a cavern of some kind. Now,
It's
what
getting a
is?
little bit bigger space here.
Is the wind still whistling through at this point?
Not here. It's whistling outside, but not in here.
Where the
This
frozen river bit.
appears to be an abandoned campsite.
Odd.
So those are some loose pages there, Gunnar.
Some written here.
And if I think Lavari, I can't remember. Do you speak Dwarven?
Sure, actually. Hang on. Yeah.
Okay, so this is written in Dwarven. There's some. It looks like this was written by a dwarf because, and it's just sort of like random musings. What the things that sort of jump out at you in the writings are these caves are sacred to the frost giants. The carvings on the wall suggest that the giants came here to drown themselves. Did they use the hot springs as a sacrificial pool? And the wind truly sounds like a wailing woman. One could easily go mad in this place. And a final one, I think there's someone living in these caves. Shortly after discovering the hot spring, I heard what sounded like a granny singing. When the song ended with a shrill laugh, dread sunk its teeth into me. Ye gods, that horrible cackle. I shall leave these caves in the morning and never return.
Does it seem that this has been long abandoned? This campsite?
It's yeah, I mean, like, it definitely doesn't seem like it was most like the campfire is stone cold, but because of the preserving quality of the environment, it's dry and it's cold, right? That it's tough to tell how long this stuff has been here. It's not in archaic dwarvish, and there's nothing ancient about the campsite or whatnot. So it's probably some time recent, but whether that's this winter or perhaps an earlier season or earlier year, who knows?
And is there actually bedding and stuff still there?
Yeah.
Or does it seem like it's quite hastily abandoned and stuff left behind?
I mean, he has left his notes scattered around on the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very... Unless it was left there as a warning.
Yeah, if you want to take a closer look around, you could give us a perception check. So as you're looking around, up on... Not around the campsite per se. It's not like, things aren't like... there isn't an obvious sign of a struggle or whatnot, but right around here, there are flecks of what could be cast off blood on the walls.
I think Gunnar sees Lavari looking around. He's like, "Oh yeah, maybe I should be checking the ground and using my useful skills instead of just walking around kicking stuff over."
What would you like to do?
So it seems to be only one way out of this room to the west.
Yeah, the way you guys came in, it seems.
We didn't see any obvious signs of tracks on the way in.
No. There's wind whipping through here the entire time. So, like, you would know if the tracks are older than a couple of days, like the way yeah, it could very well have just
snow over them,
worn it down or blown snow into it or whatnot.
Yeah. Where did Lavari? Where did you see that?
Just to the north here. Just sort of on this wall here, there was some blood.
Survival or perception?
What is it you're trying to do?
Just checking for tracks and signs of anything. Struggle.
Yeah, I think you could give it, if it's tracks you're looking for, give us a survival check.
I don't think my character would be looking for like secret doors or anything because he wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Really. It's not his thing. You said survival?
Yes, please. Yeah. Okay. I think there's still, because of this place being sheltered from the wind, there are a couple of signs of dwarven boot prints, only because they're shorter and stockier, or wider than a human print, and they've got a specific heavy sole to the boots. That's in here, but you don't see anything else.
Yeah, some boot prints. Don't see anything different. Smells. This is just like a pile of wood or whatever?
It's the campsite, or the campfire. Stone cold.
Yeah. Been a while. Well, we know where we can take shelter if we need. A little spot here, out of the wind.
Is it look like it was only one person who set up?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the bedroll is would be uncomfortable for a human or an elf or half orc to sleep in. Like it seems more appropriately built for a dwarf or a halfling or a gnome.
Well, we'll take the notes just for reference later.
Okay.
They say anything useful?
Oh,
Just looks like a bunch of markings.
It's dwarven. It says, well, whoever wrote this thinks these caves may be almost cursed, or some sort of cackling witch or something lives here. So we need to be careful.
Yeah, not exactly inviting. All right. So what do you want to do? Do you want to head back to that northern leg, or do we want to go down here?
Could lower ourselves down. The river's definitely well frozen over. I don't think there's any fear of
Rubs his
falling
bruised
through.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Do we want to just check that northern spot while we're up here? To pass by it on the way before we cross this ice.
Yeah. Okay, but maybe you could lend me that rope or help me across this rather slippy edge or ledge.
Sure.
Okay. So, Gunnar, to get yourself across is a DC 10.
Athletics?
Yes, please. Easy peasy. And then if you want to aid, just give us an athletics against a DC 20. No consequence for failure, but if you get a success, you'll grant. Nice. +1 to Lavari's. So
I want to sort of take the slack out of the rope. So if I fall off the edge,
Yep.
I'll be just hanging, hopefully,
You got
rather
it.
than dropping down. Oh,
Nat 20. Beautiful. So what does it look like as you make your way across here?
It's instead of it looking flamboyant and special, it's just he's gone so slowly. He's just like edging along so carefully, so he's right in the middle and he's sort of no danger of it.
Okay. So there you are. You're back on the far side. Where would you guys like to go now?
Yeah, maybe we should head back to the crossroads, as it were.
Thanks, Matthew Rose. Got a donation in the chat.
Oh, thanks, man. That's awesome. Very, very generous. That's from Matt, who was donating last night, too. Thanks, Matt.
All right. Puts the rope away and then pulls out a sword and gets back out in front of Lavari. Thought it was over here somewhere. Oh, yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Okay. So if you do want to stop and listen at any point, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just let you know as what you see as you come into the room.
We've still got the wind coming down this way, haven't we?
Yeah, it is howling through here, yeah.
Looks like a bit of a room opening up on the right and maybe a passage to the northwest.
Yeah. That's curious. So in here, there are ice-covered pillars composed of mineral deposits that run from the ceiling to the floor in this cave. The sound of moaning is exceptionally loud in here.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like the passage of wind through here is the thing that's causing that the sound is reverberating through the rest of the caves.
Maybe look up at the ceiling. Seems that it's causing these pillars to form here. Is there anything strange with the ceiling?
It seems like there is a bunch of ice formed on it and condensation, but it seems like this is there must be some kind of way where water is leaking into here, and this over time these stalactites or the pillars have formed from both coming up from the bottom and coming up from the top.
I think the artisan in Gunnar is coming out, and he's kind of like intrigued by this formation and walks over to it, and he's touching it a little bit to see.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of precious material trapped in here? Is it just mostly minerals and?
Yeah, it's a mineral. What this is just it's millions of years of erosion of slowly dripping down from the ceiling that formed into a stalactite and a stalagmite that eventually fused together.
Fascinating.
Well, and the sound too. It's got to be like just unless there are the hand of the gods are at play here. It's just one of those things that naturally forms, and it's almost like a way of the very land itself making music.
Huh.
I continue to just explore this cave.
Mm-hmm. what you can tell, let me make a quick roll here for you. There's no sign of any tracks in here. At least not that you can see.
Seems to end here.
Well, there's another cavern or maybe another path just west here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's check that.
Make your way up into here. Does seem there's another junction here. Now, there is fresh air coming out from this direction. Am I in the right layer? No, wrong layer. This direction. That seems like it will go out to the lack once again. The wind is coming in from this side, and then there is this cavern over here.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of those caves we saw.
Yeah, the entrances. Yep. That goes back outside.
Okay.
Now, let's stop to listen. Does it get quieter heading out this way?
In that room, yes, definitely.
Heading away from the room we just left?
Yes. So you're not hearing the sound of the wind out on the lack. You're not hearing the sound of the moaning coming from that the chamber, like the organ chamber almost. And in here, it seems the footsteps would be echoing in this little chamber. It does not seem to be a very big one, and it seems like it ends.
Let's quickly look since we're here.
Okay. Heading in there, what you find is a low ceiling in here. However, you can see scrawled into the walls are ancient stick figure drawings. You guys can each give us a... Let's see here. Anna says a really high DC, but I don't know. She's kind of a killer DM, so... Let's see. I think the...
Come on, Anna. Give us a break, Anna.
Honey, take it easy. Let's say DC 15. Society check, please. So, Lavari, you know precisely what you're looking at here. This is... Do you remember what you read about in that dwarves' papers? What these stick figures depict are... Or the paintings depict... carvings, not paintings, are frost giants wading up a river into a cavern where they are drowning themselves in a spring. There's a series of these things that depict, the progress of something. But yeah, these carvings are human-sized as well. So these are not... It's not like a giant, wedged its way in here and carved these things. It's also higher up on the wall than what it would be for a dwarf.
And the note said something about a hot spring, was it? As well?
The note said something about a hot spring, yeah.
So the giants are obviously visiting this, or have visited this place in the past.
You know that the giants are one of the earliest races to occupy the Forgotten Realms, and there is a whole history, that they have had with this land well before humankind or any of the others came up here. So, Lord knows what they were doing before. Their civilization fell in the face of dragons and other races.
Okay.
Maybe we need to find these hot springs. Maybe that's where we'll find the young whippersnappers who had a little too much to drink.
Hopefully. Yep. Let's head back the way we come then.
Okay.
Okay. So where would you like to go then? Are you going back to the bridge?
Yeah, do you want to just lower ourselves down at the bridge?
That seems to be the most obvious route from where we've been.
Okay.
So I can hold a rope for you, and then I can just try to climb down.
Yeah, I mean, can we secure it some way? Yeah.
Then we might not be able to get the rope back.
We've got one extra rope. We've got one each, so.
What do you think?
And it's only a 20-foot drop, is it?
Yep.
So we could cut the rope. So you've still got sort of half of it left.
I'll just climb down.
Okay. Should give us a, I think it's a
So I'm gonna
DC
assist.
15.
I'm going to assist for Lavari to go hold the rope for Lavari to climb down.
Okay, so using a rope to climb down will be a DC 10.
Okay, I'll try that first.
Okay. So actually, let Gunnar give a, nat 20, which means +2. You are one shy, Lavari. You want to spend a hero point? You'll be getting another one in 2 minutes.
All right, yeah, I'll get one.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Beautiful. Yep. So you're down safely. Go ahead and place yourself on the water, and then Gunnar, for you to climb down is a 15. Easy peasy. Yeah. All right. So you guys are both on the surface of the water.
We want to backtrack south, just see if it goes out to the entrance.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way, like I say, this is the way it would join up with the frozen river that we saw at the start. So this may be the way.
Ken?
This is the way.
Yeah. So this is completely frozen as you're making your way along. The echoes of your footsteps on the ice are carrying out in for quite some distance. This seems to go for quite a ways. And yeah, what you see there is at this level, there is a passageway that leads off to the east.
I'm going to use the hero point for my checking tracks.
Yeah.
Because that's shite.
Even worse.
You know what Roll20 is doing today? It's eating hero points for breakfast.
Yeah, no. So what you can see from there.
Not a whole lot.
No,
So
there's no markings. But what you can tell, let me see if, because I think look over there to the south though, southwest. That drops off about 10 feet. Oh, you got to be careful when you're getting close to there, because that is a frozen waterfall that goes down 10 feet. Now, would Gunnar and Lavari, would you each give us a perception check, please? Oh, yeah, Lavari, wow. Nat 20 from Gunnar, though. Gunnar, because you've been so carefully watching the ground, Lavari, you see some of this as well. So what you see is that the tracks seem to end here. And then they seem to disappear. But Gunnar, what you can see is that near the top of this, there are markings of claws. Something with claws has dug them into the ice to assist in climbing. And there are small spatterings of blood at the top. And the drag mark from them, they're very hard to spot. They seem to be dragging in this direction. The claws, you would guess if you judge your hand, just because you got a crit on it, would be around human size.
Okay, I'll point all this out to Lavari.
What do you make of that, Lavari?
So they were the fishermen, and we're assuming are there. The footprints were walking up here. But there's definitely some sort of creature as well. And the blood seems to be where the creature's sort of claw marks are, or more where the
Around that
footprints
region,
are.
yeah, most definitely.
And they continue off to the east, would we say?
Yeah, like it's very hard to, I mean, you did roll quite well, so once it's pointed out to you, you can see it. It was very hard to spot. The drag marks are off in this direction. The smear of what those flecks have been dragged across.
Well, I think maybe we found which way our fishermen have gone.
Yep.
Or been taken.
We can figure out if this goes back to the boats, but let's go. If they're in danger, we should follow this path.
I think that would potentially lead back out again as it's heading back in the same direction. So.
All right. Sort it out again.
Okay. So, well, before we do so, guys, why don't you each take another hero point? And why don't we take our mid-session break? And we'll come back and see what awaits further in the cave. So we'll be back for those listening at home momentarily. All right.
Is Gunnar's perception that bad? Is he only got +1? Seems really low.
Let's see here. Well, he is. Well, you're only level 2, and if he doesn't have a wisdom modifier, then he wouldn't have one. Because he would be. Well, hold on. No, it should be. Let's see here. Where's his character sheet?
Well, normally. Well.
Yeah, because it should be a plus. It's 2 plus half of your. No, 2 plus your level. Hold on. I bet you I've set up his character sheet wrong.
Just
Let's see here.
He got a 20 and he still only got 21. That was it.
Yeah. I have him down as untrained. That would be the problem. And I think, as a barbarian, I think he's actually expert. It's way better than what it should be. Hold on. Let's see. This happens when you sit up all night working on a brief and then try and throw together a character. So
many characters, man.
Well, in this case, it was just a matter of copying, because I used after our last session, as I had so much fun with it that I set up an extra character or two just to be ready in case we had to do another war story.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so it was really just a matter of copying. Yeah, he should be expert in it. So actually, his bonus should be +7.
Oof.
Yeah. So that'll be a pleasant surprise for Dave when he gets back. Let me make sure I got nothing else that's screwed up in here. Train. Hey, Dave, I got some good news for you. I fucked up and forgot to put your expert training in perception, so you actually have a +7, not +1.
Oh.
Yeah. So...
It's just a thought, oh, that's quite a good roll I got there. Oh, Dave got a 20 and I'm still beating by 4.
I forgot to set the character sheet up with your.
I'm not very perceptive, apparently.
Yeah, you're exceptionally perceptive as a barbarian. So, you. So that's actually a 27.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's I'm okay with that.
I figured you may have approved. So then, what would you like to do next, guys?
Find the kids. And he says kids being like, fishermen who aren't that experienced and foolishly were drinking in the boat kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
They're not kids.
Yeah. But they are. Yeah. Like they totally are. Okay. So
I should.
Am I being surly enough? I haven't been very surly.
now you're surly, an appropriate level of surly.
Okay.
Not to droon surly, but
no, that's a whole nother level of surly.
Exactly.
After reading those notes from the dwarf, I'll be listening to any sort of distant cackling as well, as we're walking about.
Yeah.
Just in case he was right.
You don't actually want to find cackling, do you? I was kind of hoping we just find them sleeping it off by a fire.
That's why I'm hoping it stays as distant.
Okay.
Right. Shall we?
Maybe that blood is just they fell and an animal dragged them to safety.
It is slippery. Right.
Yeah.
There. As I've proven.
So go ahead. Oh, okay. Here we go.
We're moving.
Yeah. I'll look around waiting
Okay,
for Gunnar.
now it looks like there are almost like frozen steps leading up.
Up? Okay, good.
Yeah.
You need me to hold your hand on these steps?
Yeah, I should be going up there cautiously.
Okay.
All right.
Now, give me 1 second here, guys. So when you reach there, there is something that you see.
Chest.
Oh.
frozen amongst the bones in this room. This room here, there is fresh blood that's sprayed across the floor, the icy floor in this room, indicating that you both have grown up among, fishermen. You know what it looks like when something has been butchered in a room. More obvious than the blood, though, there are all the bones of knucklehead trout, spines, humanoid skeletons in pieces, and bones of small animals and birds, along with scraps of clothing and armor and a few rusty weapons. But among them is that enormous, giant skeleton.
Does it have claw-like fingers?
It does not.
Okay.
You could give us a society check if you'd like. And you both can do this. Nice, nat 20. You know precisely from the scale of this. You've heard tales of the different variety of giants that populate these hills. There are some very rare stone giants. There are frost giants that are said to inhabit the spine of the world mountains. And there's a much smaller breed called the Verbeeg that have been known to be around here. Kind of like a bully demi-giant almost. These match the dimensions of a frost giant. Then the skeleton seems partially frozen in ice.
We want to check this out?
Yeah. Well, I'll stick to the wall, keeping a close eye on this thing.
Okay, so stop right there, guys. Because as soon as you step into there, you hear the ice begins breaking away. And I know this is a shocking and unexpected development, but guys, I may have been tricky here. And there was a health bar on that thing the whole time.
Frozen but not frozen.
This thing is beginning to stir, so would you kindly, I believe this is going to be a perception-based initiative. So why don't you each click on your token and then click on initiative, and let's see what happens next. And I did, if you are curious, I was raving about the how much I love them. I got up early this morning to make sure I had all my monster cards ready for today. I love the monster cards for this. Excellent. All right, so then for this thing, I rolled a 4 and 11. I did not roll well here, guys. All right, so Lavari, you are up first. You have 3 actions. What would you like to do?
The first thing I'm going to do, seeing this thing jump into action, knowing that gunners are most skilled combatant,
yep.
I'm going to try and do disrupting weapons.
Oh, very cool. And one thing I'll remind you of too, in this particular game, you may be able to infer certain things about your adversaries by way of weaknesses or things they're not weak to or whatnot, based on what they are. So feel free to infer away, exercise those 3rd edition skills as much as you like. So what is, how many actions does it take to cast disrupting?
2, that one.
And what's the range of it? Is it touch? Okay, so you have to spend 1 action to stride over to him, and then 2 actions to cast it.
And I can do it on my own as well.
Yes, you can. Yeah,
it's
up to 2 weapons.
So I might as well. But
so, what does it look like?
So yeah, it's almost like you'd see in a Star Wars film or something. It's like a force field almost, a sort of light given off around the weapon. So a light blue sort of tinge around the weapons.
Nice.
And then I think I'm just going to put my shield up.
Well, actually, remember, you needed to spend 1 action to stride over because it's got a range of touch.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right, then Gunner, 3 actions. What are you doing? You're sword now glows with a bluish hue.
Yep, that's good. I don't know if I warned Lavari, but Lavari's going to find out the hard way that Gunnar gets a little angry when he starts fighting.
Yep.
So I don't know if rage is how many actions rage is?
1 action, I believe. If you click on it under your yeah, there you go. Yeah, make sure to have
1
Okay, so
action.
2 extra damage with melee, -1 AC, and you just can't do any concentrate actions.
Yeah. And I get temporary hit points equal to my level plus my constitution.
Yeah, and I'll
modifier.
give you the blue bar. What is that?
Level is 2, and my con modifier is.
I think it's a
3.
4.
Yeah,
Is it 3 or 4?
3.
3. Okay, so that's 6, 8. So you have 8. There you go, Dave.
So that's 1 action.
There you go. You got a blue bar that has your things. So 1 action. Yeah!
Can I get into range with the? Yeah, I can.
Absolutely. And remember, attacks of opportunity are a very specific thing in this. Not every creature has it. Yep, you race into this thing as it's trying to pull itself out from the ground. It is flat-footed right now, which means it's easier to hit as well. Are you wielding your sword one-handed or two-handed?
Two-handed. So I think I've got a button for that.
I think maybe
T plus 8 two-handed.
Two-handed. It'll do 1d12, I believe. Let me see if I've got that set up to roll properly. Let's see here. I don't, but let me do this quickly here.
There's a
12.
button underneath. Weapon attack displayed.
What is your strength plus 4?
Yeah, strength is plus 4.
Oh, plus 4. Okay, so I should have that in effects now. David should roll automatically the if you're wielding two-handed. Let's see if that works.
Okay. So do I hit the bastard sword button or the button below?
Bastard sword button. That will roll attack and damage.
Okay, yeah, smack. And it can you attack multiple times in PF2?
Remember, each action is an attack. On a second attack, it's at -5. Third attack's at -10, unless it's a thing. Look at that, though. Oh, done. Okay, so it didn't roll the effects properly.
Two-handed 4 plus 4.
Oh, it did. Yeah. Hold on. No, okay. It's that rolled properly.
Yeah, D12 plus 4. And then I get plus
it's
2 for
8. So so it does
and then
two-handed. So we use
and
this.
another 2 for the rage.
Yeah, second one. So it's 10 points of damage then, plus 1d4 from the 1d4 positive from the enchantment.
Okay, so D4.
Yep.
Oh, 14 points of damage.
14
Nice.
points of damage. Okay. So, however, this thing is all made out of bone. So
Yeah, I
your
was thinking
slashing is kind of breaking through. 14, so that means it is...
Can I do a second strike?
no, because remember, you're out of actions. Each attack...
Right.
Yeah,
Each one is in
Pathfinder...
each one is an action.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so those are all of your attacks, and yeah. Okay, then it is the Frost Giant's turn. So it needs to start freeing itself. Its whole action is spent trying to drag itself out of the ice. It's not quite out yet. It looks like it will take one more round for it to get out, but when it does, oh my. Lavari, what are you doing? I will point out as well, the positive energy, that seemed to do quite a bit on this.
That's cool. I am gonna loose off a divine lance
Nice.
against this creature.
Okay. I think that's what, 2 actions? Yep.
It's 2, yeah.
Even with a flat-footed, that's not great. You want to spend a hero point to re-roll?
Yeah, I'm
You only
gonna
rolled a
try
4
that.
on that attack roll, so...
Yeah, I'm gonna try one more time.
Okay.
Oh,
Nat
Jesus.
1! Oh, shit. That is not better. All right, so you that unleash, and maybe because of the iciness of the floor, you just sort of, wow, it goes wild. It actually helps this thing. The critical effect or the critical fumble, you've helped to free it from the ice. So we'll have one free action this round. You still have one more action.
I'm gonna move over here because
up to 25. Yeah.
Gunner's getting in the way.
What are you doing?
Raging like a storm.
Yeah. Holy shit! Nice hit. So that is 17 plus 1. Go ahead and give us a 1d4 roll. Nice. So let me think here. 17 down to 12 plus 18 points of damage you did in this thing.
And then I smash it again?
Yeah, so click on attack number 2.
This will be a -4. So hit the number 2 button, right?
Yeah, hit number 2. It'll do all the calculations for you.
Yeah.
You want a hero point then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2 again.
Number 2, here we go. Nat 20, baby! Nice. All right, then it is, let's see here. That is critical damage. Okay, hold on. That actually should be, so 22 plus 6 is 28 minus 5 is 23. What does it look like, Gunner, as you fucking destroy this thing?
Yeah, I think it's just, he's just, and he just smashes it right on the head, and it like severs the head, and sword gets kind of jammed into the body.
Yeah. So,
you see the blue energy from his weapon just sparking in the skeleton every time he hits it.
So the shattered remains of this thing hit the ground, and it is completely destroyed. Now, the way that rage works in this is it lasts a minute, and then you need to take a minute to recover from it.
Yeah, the crit is still only rolling a d8. I don't know if we need to change that for...
Yeah, we can change that.
D8 plus 4 weapon ability.
What we could also do, you know what I could do is I could just add a second a second one to be like a two-handed bastard sword. That's probably easier.
I'm mostly just going to swing it two-handed.
Yeah, okay, so why don't we just do this then? Give me a sec. I'll just quickly adjust that.
Is he to force me to fight from like swinging on a rope or something, which I can't?
Yeah, so let's do this. Let's just go 1d12 and plus 4. Gonna get rid of the effects. Okay. So click on your regular bastard sword now, please. Let's just see if that worked properly. There you go. Yep, that worked out perfect. Okay. All right, then that is cool that they set it up automatically to have the second two-handed attack, though. That is cool. So with that thing down, you're now standing in effectively a charnel house. You realize that there's relatively fresh blood sprayed off, and you think you can hear from elsewhere to the east, echoing through the caverns. You each get a hero point. And what would you like to do?
It's that sound I didn't want to hear.
I think Gunner takes a knee and just catches his breath.
Okay.
Or is this after the 1 minute?
Yeah, so after the 1 minute, as soon as you'll sort of know, because the sword will fade. You can there's nothing that's going to push you to do something within a minute. So if you want to take a minute, catch your breath, get ready so you could rage again, have your shield up again. You guys are good to go.
Leans over and sifts through the stuff on the ground with his boot.
Yeah.
Rusted weapons and bones.
Yeah, there's some rusted weapons and bones, and there doesn't seem to be anything of value here. Like, everything is scraps of what has been, what has been left behind.
Except for maybe the knucklehead trout.
The thing is, the heads are gone. It's only the spines.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the knucklehead trout spines. So the most
Yeah,
valuable.
I think that's what Gunner's looking for. He's not like pro adventure. I'm looking for treasure and magic items. He's like, he saw the knucklehead trout and he's like sifting through to see if any heads are left behind.
Yep. Nothing you can see. Lavari, what about you? What's going on?
There's no remains. I'm looking for the remains of the fishermen to see if they've survived past this cave.
Anything that was the source of the blood, there's so much of it that's spilled across the floor in here that there's very low. Like you can't conceive of anything living having suffered those kind of wounds.
So it's not like enough blood for just one or two. It's probably all of them.
Yeah, definitely more than one. There's so much blood here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'd say
I don't like the chances of finding any of these fishermen alive.
hopefully they're still alive.
Well, maybe one or two, if we're lucky.
Sure glad that thing didn't smack me, because I bet it would have hurt.
Oh, yeah. So this is weird, Gunner. There's light coming from that room up ahead. It is
going on up
a
here?
baleful, pale light to the east.
Hey, check this out.
Oh, now what is that? Look at that. So that drops down from there, Gunner, about, I think it's about 5 or 10 feet. But look what's down frozen in the water.
Skeletons?
Big ones.
Yeah, I wonder if this is where the giants...
This may
Did
have
that
been where the hot springs used to be. Maybe they're a thing of the past.
Yeah, if this region was hot springs at some point, it is frozen solid at this point. But there are, beneath the surface, your light can cast it. There are at least the remains of 4 frost giants, the same size as those skeletons you saw before, that are visible, frozen in place beneath the surface of the water, or the ice now.
I don't want to fight 4 of those things.
And does the cackling seem to be coming from this direction, or is it to the
It
east?
has stopped now. It came and went. It seemed to more likely to have come from the east. You would have seen that light in there as well, Lavari. There's light coming from a chamber to the east.
All right, well, we can check this out later, maybe.
Okay.
Can you see how far this... I don't know how far the light goes, but...
Not really.
Or if there's light source coming from here, because... Sorry, I didn't mean to click that. But, like, the room looks bigger than... I normally don't get to see this far, Kevin.
Yeah. There is... I don't think any light source in here.
I'm just saying my token doesn't normally get to see
Yeah, let
this
me
far.
do this here. Let's see what...
It's almost like the room is illuminated.
Yeah, I think it is. I think there is a slight luminescence here. Let me bring you back to the proper... because of there is light diffusing down from above.
That's different. I just wasn't sure if there's a game mechanic broken, because I
No, it's because of it's actually neat because they give it for the shit I've given Roll20 for the setup of some of the line of sight on this thing. That's pretty cool because it's actually in the description that there is like light that diffuses down into here. So that's pretty cool that they set it up that way.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But looks like in the distance to the northeast, there's maybe some passages as well.
And I'm gonna check in this corridor we're in. There's no signs of blood. There's no,
So it looks like over here
bodies.
there is another stairwell leading down towards where that light is.
Any tracks? Blood?
There are trails of blood leading down into there. And I think what you can hear as you get there, neither of you needs to make a roll. You hear a shunk, shunk, something chopping heavily.
That don't sound good.
It might be too late.
Wow. Let's investigate as quick as we can.
Uh-oh, I see a red bar.
So, as you come down, what you guys will both see is this.
Hello, my precious, my pretties.
And it's exactly as you see. There is a human, looks like any, could be any person living from the 10 towns. And she is stretching the intestines out and dripping them down into this huge cauldron before her.
I'll be with you in a moment, pets. Plenty of room in my cauldron.
What would you guys like to do, if anything?
Hand over the people of the 10 towns, and you will probably still die.
Your intent seems clear. Go ahead and click on your token, guys. Let's drop into initiative.
He's not negotiating with some hag or whatever. Whatever.
Nat 20 on the hag.
On the token.
Is this still perception or?
I think still perception at this point, yeah.
Oh!
Ooh.
Can I... That's a D20 roll. Can I do a hero point on my initiative?
Yeah, if you like.
Oh, that was terrible.
Roll 20, you never disappoint. All right, so she got 30 and go.
I'm going last, but you know what? It's all relative.
Well, and it's
Still
only
going
for the first actions, right? So, like, it's not the end of the world. All right, so she is unfortunately going to act first. So allow me to zoom in here.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So let's see. And this is, if you want to see a closer view. Now,
Giants, hags. Kev's ticking boxes
yeah,
today.
exactly. It's all the great stuff. All right, so first thing she is going to do is stare at you, Gunnar, because you were the one who was the most aggressive. And she locks eyes with you, and you can hear her saying,
Plenty of room in my pot for you.
would you give us a willpower or will save, please? DC is 20 on this. Oh, beautiful. All right, so you are frightened 1, which means... I think
Frightened 1?
Yeah, so you become frightened 1, which is a penalty to all DCs and to all checks of 1, but then at the end of your round, it'll go down by 1. So it'll only be 1 round, you'll have that penalty. If you enter it on the character sheet, it should automatically calculate that for you as well.
Yeah, once you click on it, it gives you a box at the bottom to enter your level of
Nice.
frightened.
And then she says, she looks back and she says,
Burn them, Ember.
and you see something flashes out from underneath the pot and hovers next to her, and it looks, I think I can show you the illustration of this. This is what it looks like, guys. It's a little face on the fireball.
Cute.
Yeah. Oh, it's adorable. Does she wait and see? Lavari, you're up next. What are you doing?
Okay. I mean, that's not undead. So, I think after seeing she's, I know bless is only for attacks in this version of bless, isn't it? It's not for saving throws, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, and they're still useful. But
Here, let me do this as well.
okay.
Kind of that way you guys can see one another. And so there's your things, and I will get rid of your name bars because they are taking up a lot of space.
And they are.
I think I should just launch off a divine lance against this cackling.
Ooh.
Which, see what that affects.
There we go.
It's not
All
very good.
right. So that is going to be a miss. Now, hold on. Let's make sure we're getting. You only rolled a 4 for that. You want to hero point that?
Yeah, I was just seeing how many I've got.
Okay.
One. Yeah, I'll use that one up. Let's try that again.
Hag. Oh, jeez. So you still have one more action. What would you like to do with that?
This time I will raise my shield, I think.
Okay. Then it is the Fire Wisp's turn. So, as instructed, Ember will... Let's see here. I need... Ooh, it moves quick.
No, it's super slow
1,
today.
2, 3,
Feeling
4.
lethargic, didn't get a night's sleep.
2, 3, 4. So this is one of its actions. Flies over towards... You were the rudest to him, Amber, or Gunner, so it comes up to you, and then it sort of spins in place, and this tendril... Actually, it has a 10-foot reach. I can stop there. Does a 13 hit your AC? I think you had like an 18, don't you? Gunner, was a 13 hit you?
I have an 18.
18 AC. Okay, nice. So you
17,
get back, and this scorching, like a little tendril flashes near you, but does not connect. Looks like that would have hurt if it hit. Gunner, you're up next. What are you doing?
Rage.
10 turns.
Steps in
Yep.
and two hands this little fire thing. I don't know
Okay.
if I can hurt it, but I'm gonna give it a try.
Only one way to learn. Holy smoke, solid hit. That is... Oh, man. Oh, that includes your -1, right? Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, if you hadn't been frightened, that would have been a crit. But that is 7 points of damage. So here you go.
Still rolling a D8 for my critical damage.
Why is... Oh, maybe that might be set up that way in your character. I think you should click on the cog. You can replace that D8 with a D12.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So you race for it and hack it. All right, then it is the hag's turn. She's going to try and repeat that thing at you, Lavari. Would you give us a will save, too? She looks... You'll be in here. As she's dropping this... that's failed. So DC 20. You want to spend a hero point on that? Or are you out of hero points?
No, I haven't got any.
Failure. You are frightened 1 and slowed 1 for 1 round. So you're going to lose 1 of your 3 actions this turn.
One.
The dread as she locks eyes with you. You know there is place in that pot for you. She will then... start moving forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. She's coming towards you. Then it is Lavari. You have 2 actions this turn. What are you doing?
Seeing Gunner in his rage, I think I'm gonna bless him to improve his chances.
Okay.
So it's just
Beautiful.
As it says there, +1.
You and your allies gain +1 to attack rolls. Pretty nice. Okay. And also, at the end of your round, get rid of your frightened, get rid of your slowed, and Gunner, you would have gotten rid of your frightened at the end of last round.
Okay.
Okay. Fire Wisp turn. This thing is going to drift back as one of its actions. It lashes out with its fire. Ooh, that's a hit. I don't think it's a crit. Nope, not a crit. So you are tagged with this. You take 3 points of fire damage, and you have persisting 1 fire. So you're currently on fire. Then it whips at you again. It's minimal damage. Only give you 1 point of damage each round. That's -10 or -5. 16, I think, misses you, right?
I have an 18.
Yes, awesome. All right, so Gunner hits you the one time, but you are not. Then is your turn. You'll take 1 point of damage because you're on fire. And then what would you like to do? 3 actions.
It's going to step forward. That's 1.
Yep.
Stupid little fire thing. Makes me waste one of my actions by stepping forward. And then I'm going to bastard sword it. Whoa, that's terrible. And double terrible.
Hero point that?
Yeah, we need to hero point that.
Okay.
We need to get rid of this thing.
Go ahead. Swoof. Are you kidding me? God dang. Back-to-back fumble. All right. So that one was a miss. You have a second. You have one more action. Attack with number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is a miss.
Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, because I'm -5. All right, so
Damage. Wow.
all right, the hag's turn. She is going to race into you, Gunner.
Heal me.
And then she is going to try and get you with her claws. Yeah. That is a 21, so it's a hit, but not a crit. And you take 6 points of slashing damage. Yeah. And she's going to try and get you with her final attack once more. This is agile, so I got +8 to this. That is a 10 in total. That is a miss. So you're able to keep her at a distance, but that first one was bad enough. Lavari, what are you doing? 3 actions now.
Yeah. We're back in the game. What's that? That's 1. Yeah, I don't want to do that yet. I think I'm gonna try and get behind this hag.
Okay.
Give Gunner a better opportunity to.
Yep. So she'll be flanked, so it's gonna be flat-footed.
And then I'm gonna try my divine lance again on that.
Okay. Now remember, if she has an attack of opportunity, because that is a somatic, is a concentration action. But fortunately, no attack of opportunity. So you scorch her from behind. And 5 points of damage. She writhes with pain. Then it is the Fire Wisp's turn. She says, Ember! This thing shifts over here. Excuse me. And then it will try and hit you, Lavari. That is a 14.
Wow, that is enough.
Oh, no. All right, you take 3 points of fire damage, and you are also on fire. And then it spins around once again. Whoops. Tosses. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Right there. That is a 12, so that is a miss. So, but cracking. Gunner. She seems distracted now that she's got Lavari on the other side.
And I've got 1 point of damage from fire?
Yes, 1 point of damage from fire.
Okay. And then...
With the flanking, that is a solid hit. So that, and because you're raging, that'll be 16 points of damage. Wowzers. Look at that. She screams out in pain. That one is a miss. Want to do a third one?
You can always roll a d20. You can always roll a 20, right, Kev?
Heck yeah.
The plus.
You also roll a 2.
Now.
So
You know, a roll a 4 with a +8 and
Oh
a
yeah,
minus
plus the
10.
one from the bless as well. So that's still the 14 would still unfortunately be a miss. But yeah,
What's the flanking bonus?
it makes her flat-footed. So it's just a yeah. So -2 to the AC. All right, Gunner, that's a really solid hit. She is not pleased with you. She looks back at you. She's almost like leaping on top of you right now. Nothing but claws and screeching and cackling.
I roll and throw her into the fire?
Yeah, exactly. 15 is a miss. Then I got +8 on the second one. Fucking 11 is a miss. I have +4 on this final one. That's a 20, so that last one does hit. But I mean, 3 attacks on you. You take 8 points of damage from that last one. So you're both just going at each other furiously and seemingly without any concern for your own safety. Lavari, you take 1 point of fire damage.
Yep.
Because you are a flame, and then what would you like to do?
I think I might take an opportunity to heal, so I can do it up to 3 actions, can't I?
Yes.
Freeze the sort of area effect one, isn't it?
It is, but that does not target allies. It targets living creatures. It targets all creatures, so you might actually heal. If these things are healed and that kind of stuff, then it would heal them as well.
Yeah. What's the level 2 one do then?
Level 2 is a more at range and more healing. It adds +8 to the heal.
Okay, I shall do that on Gunner.
Okay.
I'm going to a ranged heal, so 2 actions.
Yeah, so go and click on it. I think we filled it in last time to roll the dice for you.
Do I need to let me select the 2 action version?
I think it just automatically will.
Oh, does it?
Roll. There we go. Okay, so 8 + 8, so it's 13 healing you get back, and you still have 1 more action, Lafari.
Oh, sweet. That's for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still in the fight.
What does it look like as your healing energies infuse or re-energize or reinvigorate Gunner?
Well, everything that Livari does has got a bit of a necrotic sort of vibe to it. So everything seems to be like ghostly in apparition, and everything's got that sort of ghostly effect. So I think even with the healing, it'll be sort of ghostly hands, sort of almost like comforting, and as if they're sort of giving him a massage, but they're sort of
he's your ringman.
Energy sort of into.
He's a bum rock. You can take this hag rock.
You still have 1 more action. What would you like to do?
I could do harm for 1 action. That would be the last of his spells. It'd be only D8 damage.
And that'd be a touch.
Yeah, because I'm right next to.
Yep.
So.
Okay, so it'll be 3 negative damage. Wow. And let me make a save. Now, does your heritage do anything? Like, does it affect that whatsoever to make it more powerful?
If I do a focus spell.
Okay. So she failed her save, which means that necrotic power burns into her. She is not happy with that. Then it is the Wisp's turn. So once again, tries to whip you there, Lavari. I think a 16 hits. You're already on fire, so you can't be more on fire, but you take 4 more points of damage. Second attack is a +1. 12 isn't going to do it. Last attack is a -4. And that will not do it either. Whipping around trying to get you. Gunner, what are you doing? 1 point of damage from fire?
-1. And then die, witch.
That is with the flanking. Oh! Wait, that doesn't include the bless bonus, does it?
Doesn't include the bless bonus or my +2 from rage.
You have +2 to damage with raging. I don't think it's +2 to hit.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yep.
It's plus 2 damage.
But that is 9 points of damage with the bless. Thankfully, due to Lavari's guidance, that is a hit. 9 points of damage. Second attack. Nat 20, baby. Look at that. 14 points of damage plus, my gosh.
24?
4, so that's... no, it's you take just the critical damage, not the...
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So 14 plus 4, 18. What does it look like as you take this witch down?
She's doesn't like being necrotically harmed by Lavari's spell, and she's like cursing and clawing and whatever.
Yeah.
And Gunnar just like off comes the head.
Nice. Oh. And drops to the ground.
And then he'll move with his last one right to here.
Nice. All right. Lavari, 1 point of damage from fire. And what are you doing?
Yep.
If you want to put it out, you can spend an action and just roll it's a flat, I think. If you're on fire, I think it's a flat DC 10 to put it out.
What, just a D20?
Yeah, you spend a round trying to like...
But if it hits you again, it'll just put you on fire again.
If it does hit you, it'll put you on fire again.
Yeah. How many actions is it?
I'm just double checking here. I think it is... let's see here. I think it's only 1. Where is it? Here you go. Fire. Go. Where is ongoing? I can't remember. We haven't had this happen in a game for quite some time, so I've completely forgotten how you deal with ongoing damage. It's called persisting damage. Yeah, persistent damage. 621. All right. Let's see. Persisting damage. DC 15 flat check.
But it is one action, is it?
Oh, hold on. So, it's what you should have been doing, because I'm cheating. You should be rolling a DC 15 at the end of each round to see if it goes out on its own, and then you could spend an action to reduce it to a DC 10. Oh, that's two actions. 2 actions to do that. So why don't we do this, guys? So let's just, why don't you each give us 2d20 rolls, and see if you roll 15 or higher on either of them, then the fire's out.
Yeah, I mean, he hit me last turn, so it'd put me on fire anyway. So I might
okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Roll 1, I guess.
We're getting all the ones out, Kev.
Yep, that's good. All right, so then, LeVar, you took your 1 point damage from fire. What would you like to do with your round? You could spend 2 actions to reduce that to a DC 10, or you could just deal with this wisp.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire off my divine lance against it.
Go ahead. That is that is a hit and 5 points of damage. Nicely done.
And then I'm just gonna try and put my shield up for my third action.
Okay. All right. Remember, your shield, once you cast it, you need to concentrate to maintain it. And if you stop maintaining it, it goes out, and then you can't use shield again, I think, for 10 minutes. Oh, no. Forgive me. It's only when it's broken. That's when it becomes not able to be used again. So, yeah, you got your shield up.
Yep.
The wisp did not like you. It's going to try and hit you again. Actually, it's going to shift away from Gunnar first. Then it's going to try and hit you again. So if I hit, you can interpose your shield. That's a 14 with my attack. It's a miss.
14's a hit for me.
Using your shield to give you a plus...
Oh, +1.
Yeah, yep. So that's a miss.
Yep, +1.
And then I got +2 to the second... No, +1 to the second attack. A miss. Okay, so it's trying to get you. Misses all together. Gunnar, 1 point of fire damage. Nice.
Oof. I don't need to use that though, because it's only 1 stride away.
Let's see here.
I'm just trying to think if there's any benefit to that ability.
There is, because with a quick sprint, you dash. Stride twice if you end your movement within melee reach of one enemy. You can melee strike. The advantage is, I believe, that's all one action, though.
Yeah, you get to attack.
So
him.
instead of wasting an action to move and then having 2 left, I could basically charge up to it and smack it.
Exactly. I'm gonna double check the.
It's moved
Sudden
twice, isn't it?
charge.
I guess stride twice.
Here we go. Okay, sudden charge. Sudden charge is a 2-action thing, though, so it does take 2 actions. But what it means, so it really in this case is not super useful. But
But if it was really far away, I could essentially use 2 strides and get an attack.
whoosh, exactly.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna stride and attack.
Okay, go ahead. Bless is still active, so you have +1 to hit, and that is a 13 or 23. So yeah, super. What does it look like as this thing just dissipates?
Well, it's just we've hit it with spells and swords, and I think it's more just Gunner hits it, and it's like it doesn't have anything left to resist, and just falls down in a little bit of ash or something.
Whatever animating force was behind it is just completely gone now. All right. So, with that thing defeated, let's do this then. We forgot last time. Lavari, give us a 1d20 roll. You want to roll 15 or higher. There you go. Your fire went out last turn. And then Gunner, give us a 1d20 roll. Fire still burns. So, let's assume you're going to try and put yourself out next turn. You take 1 more point of damage and then give us another d20 roll, 10 or higher this time.
Yeah, I'll use the extra action to try and make it easier.
Are you kidding? Still on fire. 1 more point of damage and give us another roll.
Is there any way you can assist by sort of rolling
No,
him
it's
on the
because it's a
floor?
flat DC. You don't get to add anything to it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Fucking hell. Still on fire.
I think it's because he's raging. He's like not focusing on getting the fire out. He's just standing there getting burned.
Calm down, Gunner.
Yeah. Just stand still for a moment, will you?
Jeez.
Stop, drop, and roll, man. Come on.
Go ahead. Oh my god. Try again.
I'm gonna type it in. Yeah, /R 1d20 because hitting the button is not working.
Oh my god. Come on, here goes. Remember, you can use the arrow as
water
well
source
too.
nearby? Can he run into jump into the lake? No.
There's no. Yeah, everything's frozen here.
All right, here we go.
Come on. There you go. It's out. It's out finally. All right. Took a while. That damn magic. Now, what you find, that thing is still gurgling and bubbling. And
I'm just gonna kneel down for a second and take a minute to catch my breath.
Can I do some nature on to heal us?
yes, absolutely.
A
Yeah.
little bit.
Yep.
of
Though you not for yourself because it hasn't been an hour yet.
No, on Gunner with all his burns.
Yes,
I was thinking
absolutely.
about trying.
There you go. Nice. So that is 2d8 you're healing.
11.
Hey, Gunner, you gain 11 hit points back from his herbal remedies.
Sweet. What's my total? 38. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? We didn't take that money. Take the damage off of your temp hit points. So actually, you should be at 38.
Oh, I should be at full then.
Yeah, because you didn't lose your temp hit points.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
So, and those go away after.
They do. Yeah, once you finish
They would
raging.
have been the first to go, and then
Exactly.
with the healing and that. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Gunner is, feeling much better. And what you can see.
But he's winded. He's just kneeling, waiting.
Yeah. This piping hot stew is in there, and what you cannot see on the map, there is a stone block in here, which has heaped on it rusty hatchets and the flayed corpses of the 4 fishermen. You can make out enough bits to make together 4 adult men. It appears from what is roiling and gurgling within there that there is that the meat has been put into this thing. But let me show you what it looks like. A cauldron is something quite different. It has a 4 foot wide. Sorry, it is 4 feet wide. Has a mouth of 3.5 feet in diameter, and looks like it can hold about 30 gallons of liquid. Embossed in the bulging sides are images of satyrs and nymphs in repose, holding ladles. There is a lid, and there are side handles on it as well, and it has sitting on 5 little clawed feet that prevent it from tipping. This does not seem like something as grisly and as awful as its contents are. The markings on this thing don't scream, you know, this is an evil magic item kind of stuff.
So maybe it's been repurposed by this sea hag.
Yeah.
Gunnar sifts through the remnants on the block to see if there's like any personal effects, rings, bracelets, something like that. You know, just like bring it back to the families, give them some.
Yeah, in the
peace.
corner of the cave, there is a small pile of such things. Looks like she may have been stacking the stuff, intent on doing something else with it later.
Okay. There's likely been more than just these fishermen.
Oh, most from the last room, most definitely.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know if there's got to be a sack.
LeVar, you know one weird thing here? There's no fire burning underneath this cauldron. It's heating on its own.
Some sort of witchcraft. Maybe she put some magic on it, or it's a magical device somehow.
If you touch the side, the cauldron is warm, but not hot the way you would expect a pot to be if it's sitting over a fire. But the contents are roiling around with steam coming off of it, like it is, you know, sitting bubbling above a roaring fire.
But you said, what was it, 4 foot wide, did you say?
Yeah, the whole cauldron is 4 feet wide. The opening is about 3.5.
So it's a big old thing. Yeah, I think Livara would be pretty disgusted by the fact that there's human remains bubbling away in it, and it's going to.
It's an eye that comes to the surface.
Yeah, it's going to tip it out, lift it, and
Sure.
tip it over.
Yeah, you empty the thing out, and it almost empties perfectly. You can see on the inside, while she had a ladle that she was stirring this thing with, there's no scratching or any markings marring the inside of this thing, and in fact, the outside, for that matter, either. There is some grisly stuff on it, just from stuff she didn't wash off when she was busy at her cutting board. But the devices, the cauldron itself, seems pristine.
And it'll just pour a little bit of water into it and see if it starts to sort of simmer.
If you clear the thing out, if you put some ice, right? Oh, you have water in your
just
thing,
a little bit out of my water flask or something.
So if you pour water in there, do you empty the whole thing in there?
Just sort of half of it, just enough to sort of test the theory that it's maybe.
So you're sitting there and you watch it for a bit, and then like slowly, the way that water boils in a pot, as it were. In this case, this pot does boil. Your rage, enough time would pass so your rage would recharge, Gunnar. You begin seeing bubbles form at the bottom of the water, and it begins roiling. And then after about a minute, it's a very curious thing happens. Is that little bit of water that's roiling in there, suddenly it transforms into a rich stew. Very aromatic, very flavorful. Like, it fills, there's not much of it in the pot just because you only put a little bit of water in there, but is replaced with this very hearty, hot stew.
This is an artifact of some power. How heavy is it, this thing?
It weighs about 50 pounds. Looks like it can hold about 30 gallons of liquid.
I think we should try and take this back with us.
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder what the speaker would give. We were able to keep people fed in wintertime.
the speaker at East Haven or the speaker at Koenig?
I'd have to go back to our town.
Possibly. Looks like this chamber continues on. I'm going to go around the spilled bodies and
Yeah.
we could drag this back for sure, but
If you wish to wait, so you guys have waited about, in the course of like investigating stuff and waiting, you've waited about 10 minutes or so as it is. If you want to wait another, say, half an hour, you would be able to do another healing check on yourself, Lavari. If there's anything else in here, that might come. But, so you would potentially, wandering monster kind of situation. But if you want to do that before carrying on to give yourself a little bit of, restoration.
that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll...
And I'll just kind of guard by the doorway.
Okay, we'll take a...
So you
I'm
hear
actually going to try the stew.
Are you going to try the stew?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a...
Sure. It is delicious. It smells even better as you're moving up towards the thing. Like, this is fantastic and very filling.
Oh. This is really good. Maybe I'll give up fishing and become a chef. We open a tavern, serve the best stew in town.
Yeah, by just putting ice in a pot. Yeah. If you don't let on the secret.
After that time passes, so nothing comes in. You hear the moaning that you've heard elsewhere in the cavern, of the winds going through that one room. But you can give us a nature check. See if you can restore some hit points. Oh, you guys each get a hero point as well.
Yep.
Is that success?
Yeah, 18.
And 2d8.
2d8.
12 back. Okay, feeling better once again.
Oh.
All right. So, where would you guys like to go next?
Well, do you want to continue up to the north? See whatever else this cave has in store.
Hey, I think I see the frozen giants.
Yeah, look at that. So you're on the surface here now too, and there are, you think of what that dwarf wrote about and the carvings you saw on the wall. If when this was liquid, I mean, the skeletons you can see below there, they're completely intact. There does not. No, you didn't, Gunnar. No, unfortunately.
Just personal effects and
just
stuff.
The personal effects, exactly. Yeah, nothing really of value. The fishermen who went out, they're not bringing a lot of loot with them, and unfortunately, apart from the cauldron, there wasn't really much else that this hag seems to have. And yeah, I mean, it's almost as if these frost giants came here and then just sank into the water. There's no broken bones. There's no signs of, like the heads caved in or anything like that. They seem almost peaceful in repose underneath the water.
We want to check some of the other passages before we head back?
We may as well. We seem to have cleared out most of this, and we've got rid of this hag.
Well, it's also we could also stay till morning and go back, take the boats back. It might be easier if we through the light of day. It's getting later in the day, probably.
Well, and the weather's quite shitty as well. And you're right, it'll be late afternoon at this point, so like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Another frozen waterfall on the side there. And this cavern seems... You guys can feel free to explore. Fortunately, you guys run into nothing else dangerous in this, but definitely feel free to look around.
And the moaning sound is still coming from that cavern, so that's a completely natural
Exactly.
phenomenon. So, yeah.
If you climb up...
Climb check or something to get up the waterfall?
I think with you guys will have enough time. You could put pitons or something in to safely climb up there. What you find is that there is a frozen river that seems to have led into here. So at some point, either before the Auril's winter came, or otherwise, what do you call it? This was a waterfall that would spill in here, and it seems that it's as the that the crazed dwarf's writings say, like frost giants seem to come here and die.
Oh.
There isn't as well, like, now that the hag is dead, there isn't a ominous feeling. Like standing in that chamber where the frost giant skeletons are, you can hear that the howling, it doesn't seem as much of like moaning. It almost sounds like a low intoned hymn. Like as if it's a very peaceful.
It's almost like the cave's spirits have been lifted.
Yeah. And you're able to view, I think, the frost giant, whatever that drowning spot is, you're able to view it from the perspective of a more serene rather than disturbing location. And you can almost picture like at nightfall when the moon comes out, it's this gorgeous, diffused white, pale bluish white light that comes down into here. So it almost has not a disquiet undead, like you did in that slaughter room. Here, it's a place of peace and rest.
I think we've covered most of it so far.
Yeah,
except for
you guys have pretty much covered everywhere now.
Okay.
Yeah,
if this is
leads back out.
Yeah, the way down. That leads the way down to the boats. Nothing will disturb your sleep this eve. So if wherever you choose to bed down, you get your bedrolls and whatnot from your from the what do you call it? The boats. You're able to have, if you make use of the cauldron, a very, like, as much stew as you can eat. You could easily make 20 gallons of the stuff.
Yeah, so we'll have a warm stew to keep away the chill of the evening as much as possible.
And as you're both healed up to full, I think, right now. Oh, no, Gunnar is not. But, I mean, you could do another medicine check on him later. So you guys would wake up the next morning. All of your spell slots would be restored. All of your things. And Dave, give us a 1d20 roll, please. See what the weather's like to. This is a fair warning. This is a weather roll.
Yep, I suspected now.
Beautiful. Perfect still sailing. Is there anything else you wish to do in the cavern before you leave it?
I don't think so. We're just going to make our way out. Head back. We'll drag the cauldron somehow and use ropes to lower it down over the waterfall so we don't smash it to pieces.
Yeah, we'll take our time carefully taking it out, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Get her back to the boat.
So let me just move us back to the... Here we go, guys. Because there will be nothing else interfering with you here. So you guys would be around here when you come out. Kerkonig's around there, so about 3 miles away. East Haven is about 6, almost 6. Yeah, 6 miles away. What are you guys thinking?
Want to take the cauldron back to Caer Konig and then deliver stuff to East Haven?
Yeah, I mean, it would save us having to explain, what we're
Why
doing.
we're not giving it to the town?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, it's for the good of us, survival of our village, isn't it? So, yeah, I think that would be better. And then we can return the boat and the personal effects and tell them that they can call off the search afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll sail the Caer Konig.
Yeah. Then I believe, guys, that is where we'll bring our war story to a close. Is our heroes sailing out into Lactin Ashir, destined with the destination of their home in mind. And if we come back to these heroes again, guys, congratulations on reaching level 3.
Nice.
Woo. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this other war story. We were the reason we played this was because we two of our other players are either have people in town or are on vacation and not back yet. So, yeah, this is what we're doing to carry on the story with this, but still, done in ones. It's also an excuse for me to make use of more material from the what do you call Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frost Maiden. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. Otherwise, we will be back with the regular campaign playing Castles and Crusades in 2 weeks' time. In the interim, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, leave a comment down below. You can also find a link to the Dungeon Musings Discord server in the description of the video. You can also find a, let's see here, you can find me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings, and my email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com, both of which are down below as well. You can also find in the description of the video a link to our friends at Noble Knight Games, the preeminent retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print games in North America. You can find not only a full selection of brand new RPGs, board games, and card games over there, they also have a terrific selection of out-of-print and hard-to-find games. And at the time of recording, and for I believe another week, they have their 25th anniversary sale where they have the largest discounts they've ever offered, 25% off of a huge selection of their products. I particularly like their want list feature, where if they have a product that you want to pick up that is hard to find or out of print and is not in stock, you can put it on a want list and they'll let you know when it comes in. And they do restock fairly often, so you, depending on the product, depending on what it is, you may be waiting a couple of weeks, you may be waiting a couple of months, you may be waiting a couple of days. There is, when the sale is over, you can also enter the code MUSINGS at checkout for a $10 purchase or more, and you'll save yourself 10% on the purchase. In addition, there's a link down below to the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel, which is the Hero Save Villages campaign. That benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really terrific organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts at the time of recording in Ukraine and the surrounding regions. There are all money that is donated through that link goes directly to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help the kids who benefit. And as small ways of saying thank you, for one, in December, every $25 that you donate, $25 Canadian that you donate, you get one chance to win the grand prize or one of the other great prizes in our next charity raffle. That will be in December, and if you want to see what prizes were awarded in the last charity raffle, head on over to the Dungeon Musing Discord server's Charity Initiatives channel, and we have a full list of all the prizes that were given away last time, including some Pathfinder 2nd Edition prizes. And as another way of saying thank you, our next charity session will be at the end of November, and that session we'll be playing a favorite on the channel, Conan Adventures in an Age Undreamed Of, the 2D20 game published by Modifius Entertainment. Donors will help us shape what that session is going to be about. So we'll be helping to decide what kind, what is it, a Conan the Barbarian, the Adventurer, the King, what type of adventure is it going to be, as well as a bunch of other stuff. So it'll be I think it's going to be a lot of fun session. And the last one we had where donors helped shape the session was a lot of fun. That was Eden Studios' All Flesh Must Be Eaten session. So I'm looking forward to the Conan one as well. Speaking of great people, I'm going to say once again a huge thank you to our stalwart players for today. So Dave and Darren, thank you for jumping into these characters. For your case, Darren, once again, and Dave, in your case, for the first time, you barbarianed the hell out of that session. So thanks for playing today, guys. That was a lot of fun. And I really, I didn't have a way of fitting that particular story into our ongoing game. The characters in our main game would have blown through that in no time. So it was really a fun opportunity to make use of some content in the book without having to make substantial changes to it. So thanks, guys. Excellent. Then, for those listening at home, again, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, back in the Icewind Dale, and plan is to return to our regular campaign and our griffinless heroes. But if not, we'll be back with another war story with these characters, or at least this community from Caer Koenig. Until we see you again, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and see the troubles that these new heroes are finding around the shores of Lac Din Ashir. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
See ya.